What, is there a story or some moment that you can think that you knew that you wanted to help other people, or?
Oh, I lost my kids at CAS. I lost 3 kids at Children's Aid Society. So between that and dropping out of school, losing work, and just the different ups and downs of life, I had to realize at some point that it's either going to kill me or it's going to make me stronger. So I had to make a 180 and start facing my demons instead of running.
Life prepared me. My disability prepared me. My fall into psychosis prepared me, and my eventual rise and recovery out of it definitely prepared me.
How?
How? Because it gave me insight into seeing what one can consider the worst in one's personality. How can I say this? Sort of like one can discover themselves through going through a low point in their lives, and if they can do that, they can probably, chances are, relate to someone else who's going through a certain state of mind.
Because a lot of people that are around you that are going to drop-ins and are going to soup kitchens and food banks and stuff like that have really they've either been up highest of highs and the lowest of lows. It's like blood pressure. They've been up and down. It takes a lot to get to. Usually when you're at the disenfranchised, when you feel disenfranchised, there's a lot of things going on. A lot of things have gone on. You can't come out. You can't graduate from college and say you want to do peer work. That doesn't make any sense. I'll see you 10 years after you graduate college or you graduate degree, and we'll see what's going on.
I work with young women and racialized and marginalized youth. So they are my peers, whereas we're in the same age bracket. We have very similar experiences or common experiences between each other. And so I feel like that's peer work to me. Working with people you connect with, people that you can teach, and people that you can learn from as well.
A lot of times service providers go like textbook, and they go more on the theory-based way of intervening, which doesn't work for a lot of people. So as a peer, it'd be easier to say, you know what, I see where you're going through this, like these are little practical things that I did that worked for me, see if they work for you. It's harder for a service provider to do something like that.
They fill a certain gap where they allow there to be a relatively, what's the word I'm thinking of? A metaphorical bridge between two parties. And this bridge allows one person to open up, and allows the other person, the peer worker, to experience insight into what's going on in this individual's life. So if you can open up an individual's field or method or mode of communication, and allow them to build a certain level of trust with the peer worker, I think that will allow them to trust other people in the organization and build a healthy rapport and relationship with others in the organization.
When I was that vulnerable, even though there were people like social care workers at different organizations who were very helpful, I still felt I was being manipulated and not heard, because I didn't fit their process or the agenda that they needed to fill. And that was difficult, so I withdrew myself from engaging further in their programming because I didn't feel like I was being heard and my individual story was not important.
You gotta live off the clock, because the streets where most of these people are on or have gone to don't have a timetable so much as, they got a lifeline. Like, there's a time. You can't be out there forever. They won't let you be out there forever. But there's no check-in and ticking and clock in and clock out time. There's no 9 to 5. They're out there when they need you. You gotta be there. So that way you gotta be resilient. You gotta be dedicated that way.
People, when they're in crisis, they don't follow a clock. They don't follow everyone else's beaten path. They're just trying to figure themselves out so they're okay with taking that next step. And they need people there who can do that. And appreciate that there might be a long distance or a long span of time between each step, and they respect that.
And I feel like it starts with that one peer and that one participant working hand in hand, and it sets a trend and it increases the amount of participants who are interested in doing that and who want to do something better or do something different.
It's a role that's not being fulfilled by a lot of people. People are getting forgotten about, misplaced, feeling just enfranchised. So people in that, they feel like that, or they feel in those ways that's being affected like that. You can come and be a part of something. You can address that element of society. You can try to help people feel less helpless, less voiceless, and that's always a good thing.